feel now where it's finally got to the point where pretty much people hate you more than Joffrey Baratheon? Is it good fun to be like just not so much evil, but just wrong?
Yeah, I just think he's I think he's quite a human character, really. He kind of messes up a lot. He's never had the ability to make his own decisions in his life. He's never had control of his own fate. So when he finally does get the opportunity to sort of control stuff, he messes up because he thinks he has to make these brash decisions, and then that will prove him as an Ironborn. I wouldn't say he's evil. I'd say there's definitely a human side to him, but he does despicable things in order to try and make a name for himself, and it's just great to play. I love it. It's brilliant. It's better than a sort of just I think a hero type, I just think it's more interesting to watch and to play for sure. I hope it is anyway.
Oh, seriously. Well, this is the thing. Like when you're watching it, going, how fucked up can this show get?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go, somebody who you used to like Theon.
Yeah.
Seriously, you were a likable guy.
I was sort of likable in the first series, yeah. But then once, obviously, that act happened in the second series with the two little children, then people just were like, whoa, I do not like this guy. So,
can I just say, setting kids on fire, that's a line?
Yeah, so I kind of overstepped the line there. But you know what? I know this sounds really messed up, but if things had have gone right and Theon had have won, that would have been forgotten and it would have been seen as a victorious act. Terrible things happen in war and things get forgotten and brushed over, and that definitely would have been one of the things that get brushed over for sure.
Now, I have to ask you, like, obviously
I'll say this stuff, I don't mind, mate.
Like, what, kids, they got to take it.
Exactly, they deserve it. Peasant boys. As long as people don't really hate Theon Greyjoy that much that they're going to try and punch me, then until then we have no problems, so that's cool.
I have to say, we won't have people just be feeling sorry for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Seriously.
I know, dude, I know. But it's great to play, all that stuff, so hopefully if I get the opportunity to play it, that'll be amazing.
I would expect, as an actor and a crew member working on a show that's been critically acclaimed, you'd suddenly shift from let's have a go at this too.
I see what you're saying,
holy
yeah.
shit, we cannot fuck this up.
No, because in a way it hasn't even really still sunk in. It's like if you do let that happen, I think, then you kind of ruin the spectacle of it for yourself. Do you know what I mean? So to me, definitely, I don't think it will even still sink in until after I've finished doing it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's going to take me a few years to kind of look back on it and go, whoa, like, that was pretty impressive, or the whole thing itself is impressive. It's pretty huge, so it's cool. When people are sort of comparing it in scale to things like The Sopranos, then you're kind of like, whoa, like, so it's brilliant to be a part of, but it's I try not to sort of get my head too involved in the kind of fan side of things and stuff and just concentrate on the work.
Because they're pretty hardcore. I mean, there's this thing where like people, the books, obviously you can't read the books.
I've read 1, 2 and 3.
Okay.
So I haven't read all the more recent ones, but I only read them once. It wasn't like I sort of went back to them as source material. I read them once and then stopped, and that was like halfway through filming season 1.
Alright, so I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Good. People are patting me on the back though.
You have no idea what the fuck's coming up.
I have an idea, but I don't. People are kind of going, "Have you read it?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Dude," kind of putting their arm around me. But it's all right, whatever. It's just interesting to play, It'd be great. Do you know what I think with Game of Thrones? It was like, even if people who didn't really know the whole storyline of what was going on in the first episode in the first series, when you see Bran being pushed out of a window, even if you don't understand what's happened prior to that, you need to know what's happened to that kid, so you have to watch the next episode. It's just great moments like that just keep people hooked. And even people still call sort of Daenerys Khaleesi, and they're like, and I go Daenerys, and they're like, "Is that a name, Daenerys?" And we're like 2 series into the show, and it's just like there's differences of people, like people who've read the books or know about it, and then people who kind of are just on TV. It's weird. It's a crazy thing, but it's cool.
Did you ever get a piece of advice from Peter Dinklage that you can remember?
No, not really. I mean, I told him that he definitely, his performance in Series 1 definitely made me, I think it kind of affected the way that I think I did things in Series 2, because I just thought he was so brilliant in Series 1, It's just, he had sort of such a effortlessness about it, and it was just, it was amazing, and he just seems so natural, and that's kind of one thing that I wanted to try and bring into my performance. I don't know if I did, but we're all just like one big family. It's great, and people ask me, how has it changed your life? And I think they expect answers of like people shout Theon Greyjoy at me and stuff like that, but that doesn't change my life. That's just something that happens, but it's changed my life from the people that I've met, and I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. It's just friendships that I've formed through it, and just they're they're everlasting, aren't they? And it's I'm going to know these people for the rest of my lives, and it's a beautiful thing. It's brilliant. You know, it's great just seeing the new cast members and seeing who they cast, because you've got an image in your head, and then they kind of do what they do, and then you're kind of like, oh really? And then you're just like, oh my god, it's so perfect. There's a reason why they do what they do, is because they're absolutely brilliant at it. Do you know what I mean? So it's great.
Now, in Belfast, would you recommend a decent place to grab a pint?
The Spaniard.
Spaniard?
The Spaniard is brilliant. The bar at the Europa is pretty cool. The bar at the Fitzwilliam is pretty cool. Lavery's is good. Lavery's is a pool hall that's good there. And it's good to eat. I can't remember. There's loads of good places to go in Belfast, though. It's very good.
Here, though, Alfie.
What, the bars?
Well, it's just like you've rattled off 4 bars and
no restaurants.
I believe there's a pie cart at the end of the street.
There's a what?
A pie cart at the end of the street.
Oh, yeah.
You may be aware of the kebabs.
I tried to stay away from all that food. Game of Thrones has made me really gym obsessed, which is sad. But
well, that's the thing. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, people talk about the nudity for the women in Game of Thrones, but they don't mention the fact that every other guy's got his kid off in every other scene.
It's great. If you got to enjoy it if you're going to do it, and I definitely did. So it's great.
All right, that's fantastic.
Cool.
Alfie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
There's a beast in every man, and it stirs when you put a sword in his hand.